Time is 9:23 and at Aurora Valley Tracking Station car park. Going to head out to Oldfields hut. That's my intention anyway. So it's a long day today to get there. It's scattered cloud but mostly sunny and wind's quite strong breeze, I'd say. Time is 10:46 and just arrived at the junction with the turn off to Cotter Gap. I've had the phone connected to the panel direct the whole trip from the car park. Phone was originally 87% charge, and when I stopped after about 50 minutes to take off my top layer, the phone was reading 82%. Phone was not charging. I think that means that the phone needs sufficient power to charge, and since the road from the tracking station car park is in the shade most of the way under trees, not getting the best light there for the panel to produce the power for the phone to charge. But now I'm at the turn off. The phone is charging and the parameters are voltage 4.5 volt and current about 400 milliamps. It's been charging 1 hour 26 and so far the energy is 1.59 watt hour. Time is 12:03 and just arrived at Cotter Gap. Getting a bit cloudy, could be a little bit of drizzle later too, I think, and also quite windy up here. Going to have a little bit of lunch and then push on to the river. Time's 2:25 p.m. and at Cotter River, checking the solar panel. It's in sunlight at the moment and measuring voltage 4.92, current 250 milliamps, and it's been monitored now for 5 hours and 2 minutes and the energy is 3.72 watt hour. Of the Yayuk Gap and Murray's Gap fire trail. Time is 6 p.m. and I arrived at the campsite, I think maybe a bit before 5:30. Set up the tent. Fingers were very cold. A bit of a wind up here. So it's Murray's Gap where I'm camping. So I'll now cook dinner and then have an early night. Mushroom soup. Added a little bit of milk. I sent a message through the yellow brick, but it took 3 attempts before it successfully connected with the satellite. Time 6:30 and it's 16th of September. It's a Sunday. Bit cold last night and even snowed. Only marginally borderline cold in the sleeping bag. It's the Vargo sleeping bag. Thought it was spring, but not so. I think the thermometer's saying the temperatures could be minus 12 or something like that. Not bit of ice in the water bottles. But cooking breakfast now. It was a bit windy last night. Tent held up well. Most of the wind was up in the treetops, but a couple of times the big gusts came through at ground level and shook the tent. Well, that's about all there is at the moment. Head to Oldfields hut later on this morning. Time is 9 a.m. and all packed up and ready to leave Murray's Gap for Oldfields hut. I've got the Xiaomi battery charging from the solar panel. When I had the solar panel and the battery out in the clearing in direct sun, it was generating about 3.5 watt. The water and mud near the logs is deceptively deep. The poles were showing well over ankle deep, so I chose the safer alternative, which is to skirt around the edge, and it's very easy to cross that way. Time is 9:51, and at this big clearing, name escapes me at the moment, but I'll have to check on the map back at home. And still there's snow, and just noticed there's some fresh footprints in the snow. There's no snow yesterday, it fell last night, so I can only conclude someone else is out here. Digby River. Time is 10:56 and just arrived at Oldfields hut. No one else here. I checked the solar panel and the battery is currently in the sunshine outside hut, and voltage is 4.94 volt, current 493 milliamps, and it's been monitored for 2 hours, and so far 3.12 watt hours collected. Time is 11:07 and just connected up the phone to the panel. It's charging and voltage is 4.725 volt. Current 866 milliamps. Power 4.1 watt. Time is 12:36 and phone now 100% charge. minus 12 Celsius last night. Another cold night, borderline in that Van Gogh sleeping bag. Also, I think sloped downhill, so tending to roll off the mat towards the door. Got up at 5 AM this morning and tried some more nighttime shots, doing a time lapse with the GH4 camera of the hut. The sun will be rising over there in the east. It's 6 o'clock now, by the way, and it's Monday. Watch says it's the 17th of September. So, cooking the porridge, I think smelling burning. Glad it's new honey, so it's full and hasn't crystallised. Yes, last night I used the stove in wood burning mode using bark and twigs. That seemed to go okay. Earlier in the day I used it to heat up a cup of coffee before I went over to Pocket's hut, and had skewers through the top holes and managed to topple the whole top and pot off full of water onto the ground. So because it's in two halves, have to be careful when you've got a lot of weight sitting up high that it becomes a bit top heavy, and it's only just its own weight that's keeping the two halves together. So if it gets off centre, the weight up top will send it over. So I was a bit more careful when I used the second set of holes cooking dinner. Didn't want the dinner ending up on the ground. So that's about it. Have my porridge. It's a long day today to get back to the car park. Well, I stuffed up that time lapse I was doing on the GH4. When I started the time lapse it was dark and I had it set to manual, and I forgot to put it onto automatic. So as it got brighter, the pictures are going to get more and more overexposed until when the sun comes out it was completely white. So it's a pity, but well, that's the way it happened. So never used it before. So final pancake here, well, just about ready to pack the backpack and pull the tent down and head back to the car. I got the solar panel charging the phone, and at the moment I'm getting voltage 4.57, current 529 milliamps, and that's power 2.42 watt, times 5 to 7. Time is 7:53 and I'm leaving Oldfields hut. Next stop, Murray's Gap. Time is 9:27 and just arrived at Murray's Gap. All the snow that was here yesterday morning is now gone. Beautiful sunny day. The solar panel still charging the Xiaomi battery. The charging parameters are voltage 4.81 volt, current 498 milliamps. It's been charging 2 hours 33. 3.66 watt hour has been collected. That's a power of 2.3 watt. The little tarn is not frozen anymore. According to the thermometer, the temperature's 12 Celsius, but the wind is rather cold. Time is 11:49 and just reached quite a hut. The gate's open. That's good for me because often it's closed and then you have to climb through the gate. Means taking the pack off and a bit of a hassle, so I'll just walk straight through today. And it was the same on Saturday when I went out to Murray's Gap through this same gate, which again was open. Time is 12:02 and at the Cotter River. Just put the solar panel out in the sunshine while I stop for break. The elapsed time since start of monitoring is 4 hours 56 minutes and energy collected is 6.78 watt hour. We'll stop. Currently the voltage is 4.84 volt and current 592 milliamps. That's a power of 2.87 watt. Solar panel in full sunshine. No clouds at all in the sky. Time is 1:11 and finished lunch and final check of the solar panel before I put it back on the pack. It is reading voltage 4.92 volt, current is 600 milliamps, power 2.96 watt. It's now been running 6 hours 5 minutes and number of watt hours is 10.51. Time is 3:50 and at Cotter Gap. Just checked on the solar panel. It's still charging, of course, and voltage 4.95 volt, current 453 milliamps, time elapsed 8 hours 46 minutes, and energy 12.37 watt hour. Power 2.2 watt. Time is 5:07 and just arrived at Cotter Hut Road. Going to put the solar panel away now. Not much point charging. Going to be in the shade now. It's been going 10 hours and 2 minutes and the energy collected so far is 12.87 watt hour. Time is 6:24 and back at the car. Just dark now. As you can, sun would have set just before 6. I'll be stiff tomorrow. Been a long day and I had to backtrack 20 minutes and then recover 20 minutes because I dropped the lens cap somewhere on the track. I did find it, but I had to go all the way back to the last photo, which was 20 minutes, and then found it about halfway back to where I turned back. So that was extra 40 minutes I've added to the trip.